always a fantastic time of the year to do scale trucking over here in Canada, and we have a special opportunity today to do a video about the most epic event coming up in 2017. And Rob is up from Florida to talk about something very spectacular called the Ultimate Scale Truck Expo. And why don't you give us the 30-second rundown on the overview of what is this? Like, what is an expo to begin with?
Okay, so 30 seconds, that's pretty rough to do. What we want to do is we want to have a SEMA type event for tiny trucks. So SEMA, you know, is like the biggest automobile who's who and what's new for the given year in one-to-one stuff. Yep. And we don't have anything like that for our tiny truck stuff.
I wish we did.
We do now.
Yes. Finally.
March 16, 17, and 18. Where March is usually pretty not good weather most of the United States, but in Florida it's pretty fantastic. We are having an Ultimate Tiny Truck Expo for tiny trucks, and it's going to be like SEMA. We're going to have about 1,000 driving gates through 7 different courses.
Wow.
Full-blown rally track. I mean, it's going to be off the wall, fantastic, crazy coolness.
Wow.
Super coolness.
So, I've never been to an expo. I've been to lots of events. So tell me why I need to go to an expo. What's different about that I won't get at a different kind of event?
So, when you say event, I bet you mean a competition.
Well, I don't really know what I mean, but a place where tiny truck people are hanging out.
Okay, so events to me usually are competitions.
Usually.
And we are not having a competition at all. We are having an exposition, and we want you to come to our event so that you learn something. I mean, you're pretty tiny truck savvy, but I bet when you come to an event and there's 300 or 400 guys there from all over the world,
yes,
I bet you're going to learn something different when you walk up to their truck and say, "Oh my God, I never thought of that. That is way cool." I bet you can learn something.
You know what? I learned something about trucking just watching what's going on in Italy and in Europe. And so, are you saying that we're talking about something international here? There's going to be people from everywhere.
It's absolutely international. It's funny you said Italy, because there may just be someone at our event from Italy. Probably,
I think so.
Guaranteed.
We may even have somebody from north in Norway. We may have somebody from...
Yep, that's entirely possible.
I've heard a whole bunch of people coming from literally all over the world to this event. So now I want to go. And because it's Florida, I think my family's going to kill me if I go from the north to Florida in March and they don't come with me. So can I bring my whole family?
I would absolutely recommend you bring your whole family and everybody you know and everybody that owns a tiny truck. You should bring all of them.
And
I mean, you know, that's just my opinion. But
how am I going to market this to my family? So, like, hey, I want to go play tiny trucks for 3 days in Florida, and I mean, how do I market this to my family?
So that's real easy, right? So we have Florida, which is like the tourist capital of anywhere in the United States.
Yeah, I'd say.
And so we are surrounded by salt water. So you have the beaches on the east side of the state, beaches on the west side of the state, the beaches on the northwest panhandle side of the state. We are an hour and a half from Orlando, an hour and a half from Tampa, and an hour and a half from Jacksonville, roughly. And all 3 of those facilities have international airports, super easy to fly into. We are 2 hours from Daytona Beach. You live in Canada. Have you ever heard of Daytona Beach?
Yes, sir. I've been there.
It's a fairly popular facility. And then, you know, a couple, maybe 3 hours away, we have Kennedy Space Center. Back in the day, we used to launch space shuttles from Kennedy Space Center.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that. So, and then, you know, we have the Florida Keys, which is the southernmost point in the United States, and that's maybe 6.5 hours away, 7.5 hours away, all the way down to Key West. So we have Disney World, Epcot, Universal Studios. We have every major theme park known to man in Florida. We have everything there for everybody.
So, what if the theme park tourism thing doesn't really attract me to? Then what else can I offer?
Well, if you're the outdoorsy person, we have actually right next door to our event is Devil's Den Springs, which is a massive sinkhole. Basically fell in, and it's an underground cavern that you can go swimming at. That's right next door. They have actually really good camping there, almost on site. And you know, there are more spring-fed freshwater lakes, rivers, creeks, etc., in Florida than you know what to do with. If you're the outdoors person, there's fishing, like ridiculous fishing. Go off in the Gulf of Mexico grouper fishing and feed your family for like 2 weeks, you know, on an 8-hour fishing trip.
So
there's everything.
Now, where are you guys going to host this event? You must have, is it like indoors? Is it at a shopping mall? What are we talking about for facility?
That would be awesome. Air conditioned, crawling at a shopping mall. No, this is an outdoor facility. It's Lakewood Gardens. It is just outside of the city of Williston, which is just northwest of Ocala and probably straight west of Gainesville, which is right off the I-75 corridor, runs up and down the state of Florida. And this facility has granted us pretty much anything goes with regards to building scale tiny truck trails. We're not, we can handle 3,000 people at this facility. I'd love to I'd love to have 3,000 tiny truck guys together. That'd be crazy.
That'd be great.
And it's just wide open. So we're planning on making this the event of all events to go to. And I mean, it's going to be crazy.
So I'm going to drive trail for 3 days.
You're going to attempt to drive trail for 3 days, but there's so much going on, you're not going to be able to pull that off.
What else is going on?
So we've got 10 different guest speakers that are flying in from all over the country.
Wow.
To Florida.
Internationally.
Yep, and they are talking on subjects that matter to tiny truckers.
Wow.
Yep. I mean, we cover everything from styrene building, interior work, to tires, electronics. You can't name a subject that we don't have a very esteemed person that's going to tell us about that subject and how to build interiors, how to do really, really good paint jobs on your bodies.
Wow.
How to do things that a lot of guys maybe just don't know or maybe a little intimidated by. Well, we want you to take it on and do it yourself and make your truck better and come to our event to learn how to do that, learn how to do those things.
So I'm going to get to network with all kinds of tiny truck guys. I'm going to get to learn stuff from the leaders in the custom truck industry.
Yep. And
how, like, of course, we run GCM. So how do we get involved as GCM?
So GCM wants to come down. We would love to have you there as a sponsor, but we're really more concerned with having you there as a vendor. We want you guys to come down and bring all your products so people that come to our expo can go up to your booth and meet you, shake your hand, and can pick up a set of your rims and go, man, these really are nice. I've only seen these on the internet. We want people to put your product in their hands so that they can feel them and go, these are nicer than I thought. I want to take these home with me.
So you've got to set up as part of the event where vendors like us could actually go and interact with the guys and the families and talk tiny trucking outside of the other program.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have a full vendor section that's separate from everybody else. So we kind of want to make it like it's a really big online hobby shop, like RPP Hobby, right? So you can go on RPP and you see all these great products, but you only see them in photos. So at our expo, we want all those companies that have those great products at our expo in person with those products. So when you come to the expo, you go through the vendor section, and there's everything that you've ever seen online at RPP Hobby right there at the show in your hands. So you never had the chance or opportunity to hold a Curry axle? We're going to have them right there for you. Pick up the Curry axle, roll it over, check it out, hands-on for everything.
I'd like to do that.
Yep.
And that's one of the comments that we always get at the GCM vendor booth when we go to a show or an event. We set up the booth and a guy will come over and say, hey man, I've seen your stuff online.
Never seen it in their hands though.
And when I have this in my hand, it's a whole different experience.
Yep.
And we get a lot of positive feedback from that. So I think that's a good idea.
That's what we want.
Great. How do we get involved now? How do I get involved as somebody who wants to come to the show and take it all in? And how do I get involved as a company that wants to be part of the event?
So we're pretty well plastered all over everywhere that's social media. So we have a Facebook page. We are on both of the major forums, Scale Builders Guild and also RC Crawler. You can send us a message through any three of those ways, and we will absolutely hook you up. Phone calls are fine. I prefer phone calls. If you want to get in touch with me, it's 352 area code 361-1568. If you want to sponsor the event, that's great. If you want to show up with your company and have events or have your product to sell, that's even better. That's really what we want. And give me a phone call, track us down on one of the Facebook page, shoot us a message, and we'll email you all the info you need. as far as what it costs you as a vendor to come, it's $30 for a vendor to come. We don't take that. That goes straight to the facility that's hosting the event for us, and so basically it's virtually free, almost. 30 bucks. So here's what we did for you though, because we want you there so bad. We want you to come to our event. So we said, what do these guys need? Like, if you're just going to fly to Florida or show up to Florida, drive down, how about we're gonna give you lunch, catered lunch, on Friday and Saturday. And we're
That's
not talking...
always a huge concern for us when we go to Vend, because we're trying to find our staff to stay at the booth, and nobody can run out and find meals, and so that's a big help.
So it's catered. These are for our vendors that are going to come in, and our presenters. We have catered lunch, not bologna sandwiches either. We're talking nice lunch. And you know, we've got a full list of lodging, you know, all different places you can stay, all different restaurants that are in town. Now, just because we're catering for our vendors that come, doesn't mean that we're leaving out, you know, the guests that just want to come and play tiny trucks and buy stuff from our vendors. So, on site, we're going to have a couple of different food vendors that are just there to give you whatever you may want for lunch. That's a good idea. But 5 minutes away, in the little tiny town of Williston, there are all kinds of mom and pop restaurants.
There you go.
I mean, all kinds of stuff right around the corner, really nice places. So, yeah, food is not an issue. Lodging is not an issue. 25 minutes away is Gainesville, and maybe 29 minutes away is Ocala. It's major highways all the way there, so really, really easy to get to. No worries there. So
I know how to get involved as a company now, and I would contact you to get a sponsorship package to find out what's required and what you're offering, and then how do I buy tickets for my family to come to?
So the tickets are on Eventbrite. That's pretty easy. Eventbrite.com, and then punch in there the Ultimate Scale Truck Expo, and bam, it'll pop up.
There you go.
I can tell you that we do have a night run, but given the terrain that we're having the event at, we're doing an extremely limited number of tickets for the night runs.
Okay.
And
so get them now, basically.
They're going to sell out really fast, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
However, with that being said, we guarantee you will have a really, really good time on the night runs, wheeling side by side with some very prominent people in the tiny truck hobby.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I can't wait for March to hurry up and get here. This sounds like something that the tiny truck community has kind of done on the side in small ways, with little community get-togethers here and get-togethers there, but this is something where we can all finally come together, and boy, I'll tell you what, I'm really excited to come, and I hope everybody that I know shows up at this thing, because we can all talk about the same stuff at these small events and comps and scale get-togethers, but like to have it all there and have the, you know, the skills that people are there to talk about their skills and all this stuff. I mean, I'm interested.
It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I'm interested.
It's going to be it's going to be awesome. Off the chain. Some of the guys that we have coming in are just, I can't even believe it. You know, I've been asked by several people, well, how'd you get that guy to come in? Called him on the telephone and said, hey, this is what we're putting together. It's going to be crazy cool. And it was, we're totally coming to that. And you should totally come to that too, because it's going to be worth your time, worth your effort. And we hope you learn something. You come down and do the tiny truck thing, and we hope you get to meet guys from Canada and say, here, man, check out what I did in my truck. And he'll say, oh, man, that's a great idea. I never thought about that. And vice versa. You go to the expo to learn things that maybe you didn't think about before. How to make your truck cooler and more scale than it is now. That's the goal.
And I love the handshaking with all the drivers and all these the different builders out there. And if we can get them all together at one place, that's some good networking right there.
Yeah, that's emphasis on work. Forget the net part. a lot of effort to do that, but it's going to be great. What do we have, like 8 months to go?
Yeah.
I think that's about right, 8 months until the event.
Yep.
Tickets are on sale now. We're doing 15% off the first run. Early bird special. Then we're going to do 10% off, then 5%, and then you're going to wish that you paid 15%. But here, let me tell you about the tickets. So we've bounced around and done quite a few events all over, and we wanted to keep the tickets for a 2.5-3 day event at a reasonable price, right?
That'd be nice.
Because a lot of people were coming from a distance to come to Florida, and we said, let's do the whole thing for around $100. The whole thing out the door for around $100.
Wow.
And you know, that's somebody told me at an event I went to, well, what do you think you paid for those tickets? Actually, I think it was you. And I'm like, I don't know, I didn't really think about it. And so I went back on and I totaled it up, and it was like, holy cow, almost $190.
Wow.
And you just don't think about how fast that adds up. And I'm going, well, we don't want to do that. We want to keep it reasonable where people come down and get their value out of it.
So you've got a pass that lets you into the botanical gardens where the facility is, and then gets you trail passes at the same time, as well as whatever the day events are.
Yep, that's right.
And it's all there.
It's a one-shot deal.
Once you're there, you're there.
Yep, that's right.
I love that.
Yep.
That's very simple.
That's the goal. We want to keep it simple, and we want you to come out and take your tiny truck, and we'll have a full-blown sheet about what the different trails are, all 7 courses. And you guys, some people might say, oh man, I want to go in the muddier course, right? I want to get some water on the truck. Okay, that'd be course C. And we'll do a full description and knock yourself out. There'll be 150 or 200 gates on that course. And
wow.
yeah, man, go play in the water. And then somebody else say, oh man, there's rocks over here. I want to go test my tires. I want to go out to like the rock course. Oh, maybe that's course G. Knock yourself out. There's 150 gates out there too. And then
wow.
somebody else might want to do the super scale wooded trail run. And maybe that's course B. Knock yourself out.
You know what I want to see? I want to see the rally course.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about the rally course.
The one thing that I don't do enough of is making use of my rally car, and that's an opportunity. An actual course built for the cars in a scale way. That's not parking lot bashing. That's I got to go to that.
Full-blown rally, and you guys, a lot of people have heard of the Colorado Rally Championships, and that's put on by Ty Gibble.
Yep.
And he's known as Turtle on some of the forums, and I've made a phone call to him. Super nice guy, and I bet you I'm going to bend his ear, and we're going to have an epic rally course. I mean, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys have got it well thought out, and there's a lot of participation. You've got speakers and places to eat and places to stay and things to do, and I'm definitely going to sell this thing to my whole family and see if we can all come down.
You totally should all come down. Yeah.
I'm going to do that.
Yep, and bring trucks with you.
Ultimate Scale Truck Expo 2017.
Yep. For Turks and Jerps, if you're into those things.
I'm into that.
Totally, absolutely.
See you there.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Ditto, man.
Yep.
Here we go, tiny trucks all the way.
Tiny trucks.